Ditch the fairy tale, princess. It's time to step outside the status quo and blaze your own trail. The path littered with setbacks, successes, and newfound passions. Why? Because when you break away from the script, you start to pursue a life by choice. One that is all yours. Live unscripted and rewrite your life.
Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to the show. I'm excited for this time with you because I don't know if you're in a season of growth right now or if it's just me. I know it's not just me. I see you. I see you on my social media. I hear what you're talking about out in there in the big world. And I know this feeling of maybe feeling alone in your growth season is real. It's real to you. It's real to me. And it's something that challenges me on a daily basis. It brings out all the emotions in me on a daily basis. It's something that I feel like I can control, but often I can't. And in moments where I have a lot of self-doubt or moments where I feel like I just want my old life back. I don't know. Have you ever felt like that? That might just be me. I think there's a version of me right now that has this ability to think that what my life maybe used to be like would be better. And when I say that, I know it's true in my mind because I'm familiar with it. I've been there. It is what it is. I can see it. I can feel it. I can remember it. I know what to expect. But I also know, if I pause for a second and think about what I'm actually thinking, that to go back wouldn't even feel the same. You know, how many times have you gone to a great restaurant only to return hoping it was just as good the first time and it wasn't? So many times memories in our life can be like that. You know, how many times have you separated from somebody or, you know, broken up with somebody and then a few months later, a couple years later, you're yearning after what you used to have when, if you really think about it, 80% of it wasn't great. But sometimes we forget those parts and our minds can go to the places that were good, and those memories can make you forget the things that weren't. But that 80% that wasn't great is what pushed you to get here. And so I want to remind you, if maybe you look up right now and you don't see the same comforts around you, you don't feel the same support that maybe you once used to feel. And for me, that looks like less friends around. That looks like I don't have my hustle and bustle of the salon keeping me safe and warm and comforted with its madness and chaos. But I know that this, what feels like lonely path right now, is a sign that I'm on the right path. And it's also a sign that I'm not alone. I'm not alone. For one, I always walk with God. I don't talk about that a lot on this podcast, but I'm a huge believer. I have a tattoo on my arm that says, "Have faith, not fear." And I got that tattoo when I left my first big salon after being there for 10 years in hopes of doing other things. And I was so scared because what I was doing was working, at least on paper, and for everybody else, right? I was in my zone of excellence, as my new favorite book right now calls it, where it was working. It was working really well. All of my clients were really happy. I was the world's best people pleaser. And if I didn't change, everybody would be totally fine with it and more than happy for me to stay exactly where I was doing what I was doing. So we inherently never want to disappoint people. We inherently want to be liked. We want to be appreciated. We want to be accepted, all those things. And I had created all that for myself within the beauty industry and working behind the chair with my clients. And I had established friendships in that world. I had established friendships and relationships that like matched that energy from the salon, maybe friends that were outside of the salon that were in the same industry. So when I started to shift and get curious about other things, nobody really was interested in hearing about those conversations. Nobody really wanted to share those insights and dreams. And it took a lot of courage on my end to pursue those feelings and that knowingness that there was a greater purpose for me out there. And I think, you know, we struggle a lot with purpose and passion as we get older because generally you've been doing the same thing for a long time and you start to notice that there isn't maybe a lot of passion around what you're doing anymore. And maybe you don't feel so in purpose anymore. And purpose to me kind of is similar to alignment. But I feel like there's a couple secrets that I found, the courage and endurance to pave the road on my way to my best life, which is where I'm going and what road I feel like I'm currently on. Robert Frost, the great poet, he says, if you want that special life most people only dream about, you must journey down the road less traveled. And we know that that's so true in entrepreneurship, because even though you might be creating something similar as somebody else, you still have to travel down your own road and do it your own way. Even if you try to copy somebody else, it's never going to be the best version of what you could have created on your own. Now, don't get that twisted. I've used a lot of other people's content to encourage, inspire me to take action. And I've used things that I see working out in the market to create stuff that I know people want or need, right? That market research. But I think when you get quiet and you think about the impact you maybe want to make, whether it's in your immediate community, on social media, within your family, out in the big world, it helps you tap back into what truly lights you up and helps you understand that as you move through life, you will go through seasons of shedding old identities of yourself, old beliefs that you may have about yourself, people in your life that you thought would never not be with you, obviously relationships, close personal relationships. And it's been an interesting journey to walk. And often I find myself alone. And in those moments of aloneness, I'm not going to lie, like I had one this morning. And it came on the heels of getting in a little argument with my son about getting ready for school. Simple argument, wasn't that serious. But after he got out of the car, like I kind of just burst into tears. My little lip was quivering and everything. And I went down that dark rabbit hole of, I want my old life back. That thought came into my mind. I want my old life back. And my house is probably 3 minutes from his school. By the time I got out of the car, I thought, what old life? What life are you referring to in the last 22 years? Are you your old life as a child? Your old life when you were miserably with your baby daddy, like not happy in that situation? What part of your old life are you talking about? Your old life where all you had to do was get up and not think about what you were doing throughout the day and work a career where you didn't feel fulfilled? Like I had to remind myself why I'm in this current situation. And I know it to be so true that if I was given this next career or this next road to fulfillment on a silver platter, I would not appreciate all that I've done to get where I'm currently at now. And I hope this is resonating for you, because I know that we want things to be easier than maybe they are. Obviously, we're human. We want the easier way, right? Where's the easy button? There's a whole commercial on that, right? Staples, the easy button. I'm promising you right now that whatever you're growing through, it's to teach you whatever you need to know in the future. It's to remind you of your resilience, your resourcefulness, and it's to question your passion and your purpose around what you're doing right now. Because I truly believe if we don't have that passion and purpose behind what we're currently doing, it's not going to be sustainable. You're not going to be consistent with it. Now, when I say your passion and purpose behind that thing, it doesn't mean that that's your sole purpose and passion in life. I think that's where we get it twisted. You can be multi-passionate. You can be multi-purposeful. One thing in the entire world doesn't have to be your sole purpose or passion. You get to have multiple passions throughout your life. You get to find purpose in the most mundane things that you get to do throughout your day. Like I have so much purpose being a mother, but it's not the only identity that I wear. So remembering that as you move through life, as you shift and grow and evolve and get curious about things you could be doing, find that purpose and passion first, because that will help you stay rooted in dedication on the days when it maybe doesn't feel so fun, right? Because we can be dedicated and excited, but you can't just be excited about something. because there are days where that excitement wears off and it's the exact opposite of excitement. But if that dedication is rooted in that passion and in that drive and in that purpose that you have, I promise you will still do the things that need to get done. Even if it's at 10%, right? You're still making momentum. You're still creating momentum. And you'll be able to turn loneliness into the fuel you need on this journey. Because honestly, this journey should excite you. It does me. But I mean, the road's going to have some curves. It's going to have some hazards and potholes. You're going to face fears. Shit's going to be intimidating. And it's going to be lonely at times. But let me be here as your guide to remind you that how you're feeling is normal. You're not alone. There's a whole community of us here that listen to this podcast. You got over 45,000 downloads. You are not alone on this journey. If you need support or help or any sort of reminder that you're doing it right, that you are the creator of your own script, tune in for more episodes. Connect with people that listen to this podcast, right? Share this episode with somebody that you want to bond over, that maybe you feel like they might be going through the same thing you are, right? When we can connect over the things that we're going through, it builds deep, vulnerable relationships that then carry you into the next season of your life. And I just want to remind you that choosing this road less traveled was not a mistake. You were exactly where you're supposed to be. And although I know there are no maps to go by on this, there's no guardrails to protect us from falling off the side of the cliff. It is an awesome experience that we get to create. And it's about time we start enjoying it, right? Because if we can't enjoy these parts of it, when we get to where we think we want to be, we won't be able to enjoy that either. So remember to fight through any fear or rejection or anxiety that you might have and turn that into fuel that you need to stay committed and connected and consistent. I love you so much. You know, you can reach out at any time. You know, I firmly believe that if you're trying to create any greatness in the world, you need to connect your voice to your brand. And I truly believe you can do that through podcasting. The Start Your Damn Podcast course is for those of you who want to take action immediately, go from idea to launch in as little as a week. You can take the course, take action, and get shit going. Or you can take the course and then come and work with our agency that I've just created. And when I say just created, it's been a long time coming. I've worked with many, many contractors over the years with my podcast. I have an amazing team I work with now. And, you know, I just know that the majority of people I talk to have a message on their heart. They have things they want to share into the world. They just don't understand maybe how a podcast can help them get that message out to the world, or how it can really help you connect to people you wouldn't otherwise have access to, or them access to you. And the accessibility it's given me in having conversations with amazing people is next level. Over 200 episodes recorded, a majority of them with guests, sharing their insight, their perspective, their know-how for free on this platform. There's so much power in that. There's so much power in connection, so much power in community, and so much power in you connecting your voice to your brand. Whether you're just starting out building that brand or you're already, you know, on your way up doing big things. So reach out if you have any questions. You can find all the information in the show notes. Always DM me on Instagram. And if you love this episode, you know I love a good share, and I'll see you on the next one.
Giving back is easy. Leave Unscripted your 5-star rating and written review. I appreciate your support more than I could ever put into words.